Do I need more than a will? Is a question that I get asked quite often. The short answer, honestly, is yes. A will says who gets what, but that's not the only question when it comes to estate planning. Estate planning covers what if you're incapacitated or disabled, who's in charge of your assets and your medical decisions, or your minor children if you're a parent of minors, who's caring for them during that time, and then ultimately who would be raising them if something were to happen. So you definitely need more than a will in most cases. Every adult in Florida needs a power of attorney. Who's in charge of your assets? Who's in charge of your medical decision making? You need a living will, which is what happens if you're on life support, making end of life decisions ahead of time, as well as a HIPAA release. Who can your doctors talk to so that your family members and loved ones can know how you're doing? And you need all of that in addition to a will. Whether you need a will and a trust is a separate question, but definitely a will alone doesn't cover all of your estate planning needs. Also, if you're a parent of minors, you want the guardianship completely covered. Short-term guardianship for an emergency situation, long-term guardianship for who would raise your children, emergency wallet cards to make sure the information about your estate plan is immediately available in an emergency, a letter to your children, a letter to their guardian, just so that they know things you would want them to know, especially if your children are very young or if a guardian would want some advice from you about what to do. This is a way to supplement just the will to make sure that everyone knows ultimately your wishes, your values, and your stories to pass down.